All right, so wanted to make a quick video talking about final walkthroughs. One would think that a final walkthrough, meaning you're going there the day before usually or the day of closing to make sure the home is in the same or better condition, which is how the contract is going to read. Usually that's also going to require all debris, trash, personal items to be removed from the home. It should be in the condition you are accepting in. Should be. There's all kinds of variation, weird things that happen, last minute changes, delays in moving companies and stuff that can make this a very tough situation to negotiate. I have had to negotiate thousands of dollars. I've had to delay closings. I've had to do a lot of just really last minute negotiations, moving stuff around to make sure everybody's happy, but also our client is mostly protected from something really bad going on. I could make probably an hour-long video talking about all the craziness of final walkthroughs that I've seen in my career. But what I want to do here is just talk about some of the things that you and your agent should be doing in a final walkthrough here. So I've made a nice list. No particular order here, but make sure the HVAC still works. So test the heat, right? Test the AC, let it click on, let it click off. You want to make sure. Now, the things go wrong. Yes, we've closed 3 days later. HVAC went out on a client. It's happened. It's welcome to be a homeowner. It sucks, but we want to go ahead and test it and make sure that everything is still working there. Hot water heater, right? Go ahead and run hot water. Speaking of that, we want to go ahead and run water all over the house, right? So we want to test all the sinks, make sure they all got hot water going to them. We want to test the showers. We want to flush the toilets and then check for leaks with that because water problems does happen. It is wintertime right now. It is below freezing here in East Tennessee. And so checking and making sure everything's still working, nothing's busted. There are no active leaks or anything that's going on, because again, the seller is required to keep the home in the same or better condition since it went under contract there. We want to open all the cabinets, open all the appliances. A term we use here in East Tennessee is the home needs to be broom swept, clean. It doesn't have to be deep clean, but it has to be basically respectfully cleaned. That is a gray area. I don't like that language because it's interpreted, and my version of clean versus my wife's version of clean is completely different, but I kind of like to get ahead of it. Hey, respectfully cleaned, meaning, don't have old popsicles stuck in the freezer there and Kool-Aid stains in the refrigerator. Don't have pizza crust all over the bottom of the oven there, and same thing in the microwave. There can't be explosions happening all over the microwave, right? Has to be clean, so we want to check for those things. Check all the cabinets, dishwasher, right? Make sure no personal items are left, trash or debris. That does happen. I've opened a dishwasher many times, and it's full of dishes, that they cleaned and the seller just forgot about. I already mentioned flush toilets there. Repairs are done, right? Often we're going to negotiate some repairs, so that is when you get a chance to go ahead and verify that visually. You do want to make sure in those repair amendments, though, that you're getting some documentation, photos, and everything to make sure, because I've went to the houses many times, something's supposed to be done and wasn't done. Any negative changes to the home, again, I mentioned same or better condition. Any negative changes to the home should at that point and can be addressed and negotiated, and the buyer doesn't have to close. Broken window, HVAC doesn't work, right? You're not obligated to close and move forward, but just know that can cause a whole lot of craziness on the back end. But there's ways around it, things we can do as agents. That's where really the experience does come in on how to be creative to make sure everybody's happy to be able to close, but also protect your client to ensure that they, aren't in a position to get screwed out from, something not being in good working condition at the time of the final walkthrough. Another one that's a big one in the spring and summertime is grass height. Couldn't tell you how many times so we go out there, and I've had it on my clients. We send emails out then throughout the entire contract, especially to our sellers, telling them what they need to do. I realize people don't read emails. We also send emails to the listing agent. We're on the buyer side. I usually about a week before go ahead and text them as well. Hey, just want to make sure they're going to be out for the final walkthrough. Just want to make sure all this is going to be done. You would think that that's the easy part. It really, I mean, probably 25% of all contracts potentially have a final walkthrough issue. And it's a really tough thing to negotiate at the table. As I mentioned, I've negotiated thousands of dollars at the closing table for final walkthrough problems. The last thing what I want to mention is it's happened to me. And one of the ways I negotiated thousands of dollars is make sure it's the same appliances. That's the key of the wording there, and making sure you can verify with MLS photos or videos of it. I one time I was on the buyer side, had a seller try to pull a fast one. We ended up doing 3 final walkthrough, 2, and then we had to do a third one after closing, but we were holding money back because the seller wasn't out. And I was getting very suspicious about the situation. Well, come to find out, he took his like $3,000-$4,000 really nice kitchen refrigerator and replaced it with his garage $600 refrigerator. So we get there and we're like, that's not right. And so basically he had to forfeit. We gave him till the end of the night to bring the refrigerator back. He basically refused and said, well, I left the refrigerator, and nope. So we kept that $5,000. So my buyer was plenty happy with that. But those are things, make sure it is, again, same or better. And if anything goes wrong or negative, it is a seller's responsibility to replace that all the way until closing.